And here, the U.S. House of Representatives impeached President Trump for inciting an insurrection against the U.S. government by urging his supporters to riot at the U.S. Capitol, where Joe Biden's victory was being certified. Well, 10 Republicans broke rank to join Democrats in voting to impeach Donald Trump, making him the first U.S. president to be impeached twice. But was it necessary for the impeachment process of Donald Trump when he has just a few days left in presidency? Well, my colleague Edem Farrie has more in the following report.
Were you present when the Capitol was under attack?
I was in the Capitol complex on January 6th when a mob of rioters, conducted an insurrection, an attack on the Capitol building. Now, my office is across the street in one of the House office buildings, and I was observing the debate on C-SPAN on a monitor from my office. And I also had monitors that were, on some of the cable news outlets. And it was a very frightening visual to see my colleagues debating the certification of electors in the House chamber, while at the same time, a mob was marching on the Capitol. Very frightening, just, for the safety and security of members and staff that were in the Capitol building itself.
The world has always seen America as a great example for democracy. What type of message do you think the U.S. Senate should send to the rest of the world in President Donald Trump's impeachment trial?
First of all, I think the world is seeing that democracy is fragile. It's fragile in the United States. And it's fragile in so many countries around the world. And that's why it's so important that the United States, that holds itself out as a beacon of freedom, a bastion of representative government for, by, and by the people. So it's important that we do everything we can to strengthen our democracy, to strengthen our democratic institutions, freedom of the press, fully functioning judiciary, a Congress that puts country above party, and a president that respects the rule of law.
We have seen some news in the U.S. equating actions taken against people who protested against police brutality to rioters who tried to overthrow democracy. Can it be considered the same?
What we saw this past summer, in the summer of 2020 in the United States, was peaceful protesters in cities and communities around this country who rose up, raised their voice, expressed their grievances in the wake or the aftermath of the murder of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. We were speaking out against police brutality, and they were confronted by, law enforcement, by National Guard. The President of the United States called out active duty military to suppress a peaceful protest. In comparison, on January 6th, when there was considerable information and intelligence that this gathering was not going to be a peaceful protest. People were intending to do harm to individuals, to destroy property, to assault the Capitol, to disrupt and undermine democracy, essentially self-defining themselves as an insurrection. Yet the response from law enforcement was nothing compared to what we saw in the summer of 2020. So it raises a lot of concerns, and we'll be investigating those in the weeks and months to come.
The FBI has warned that there may be another attack on the inauguration day of President-elect Joe Biden. How prepared are you?
So members of Congress have received briefings from the Secret Service, from the FBI, from law enforcement, and there's the potential of real threats on Inauguration Day and the days leading up to Inauguration Day. So we've extended the period of time that is referred to as a national special security event. And we are currently in that period of time now. So you are starting to see the most heightened security possible in the nation's capital. Physical infrastructures that have been erected to create barriers and perimeters to prevent rioters from converging on the Capitol and other key locations. When President Obama was inaugurated, there were 9,000 members of the National Guard present. For this inauguration, there will be 21,000 members of the National Guard, many of whom will be carrying. They will be issued weapons in order to safeguard and secure the venue.
Thank you. Now that President Trump has been impeached, where do we go from here?
We go to President Biden, and that's true with or without President Trump's impeachment. The voters in America spoke clearly in November. 81 million Americans voted for Joe Biden, the largest vote ever by a presidential candidate. But we can't forget the fact that President Trump received 74 million, the second largest number of votes. So the message coming out of November is that we have to find common ground, that under Joe Biden's leadership, and I should say that Joe Biden is a decent man. He truly is. He's a decent, honest man with a moral compass that is so much more concerned about his neighbors and Americans than he is about himself. So it's Joe Biden that we're going to look to bring this country together, to begin the healing, to make progress on things that are so important to Americans.
Thank you very much. Do you have any personal message you would like to give to the people of Ghana?
What I would like to say is that, many of us in America recognize that Ghana and the entire continent of Africa is really the future, I think, of the world. A relatively young population with so much potential for growth and positive development. So as a member of the House Armed Services Committee, and I visited Africa at least once, not Ghana, unfortunately, and I know it's a big continent, but I see the real potential in developing partnerships and alliances based on trade, based on economic development, based on assistance and supporting good governance. So I'm really excited about the future of Africa, of Ghana, of the relationship between the United States and Ghana. So let 2021 under the Biden-Harris administration be a new start, a fresh start for this relationship.
Thank you.